Emmerich back in the NASCAR Cup Series, full-time in 2024. He sits on the inside of that run there. Scored fourth that time through, but he's right behind Ryan Blaney on the inside. Emmerich again raced full-time in one season in the NASCAR Cup Series before going to the Xfinity Series and winning a championship there. The opportunity is here for that Chevrolet team to put forth Emmerich as a teammate to AJ Allmendinger in this one.
Back to the sun-drenched Daytona International Speedway. The 66 running at the Daytona 500. Lap number 24 goes up on the board. And Jeff, we've got a very special guest joining us.
Yeah, we certainly do. You mentioned it before the break. Joining us up here in the broadcast booth, a longtime friend of ours and an even longer friend of you, race fans. Lead anchor Doug Rice, after 36 years of broadcasting, he's determined that this will be his last year. And a bucket list, and Doug, we'll let you tell the story. The bucket list was for you to be here in the car.
From the NASCAR broadcast industry, you want to have a small part of the Daytona 500. So thanks for making that come to fruition today. The green flag is out. The field's headed to turn number one.
Here they come into the 31-degree embankment, and nothing has changed. It is still 2 by 2 by 2. The gap between the lead and second place, about a foot in favor of
Chase Elliott, running in third on that inside line, has backed up a tad from Daniel Hemrick. He's got about a half a car length between himself and Hemrick on the bottom lane of the track.
line to Chase Elliott on that inside lane. Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, plus Chase Elliott. Side by side.
As they come to the line, it's Ryan Blaney, it's Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, and Daniel Hemrick. That's your top four as they make their way back to one.
This time it's Bell by nearly a full car length in that outside lane. But as I say that, here comes Ryan Blaney with a little bit of drafting help downstairs from Daniel Hemrick. Off turn 2 to the Daytona Superstructure.
The lane was open for Michael McDowell to dip in right there in front of Chase, but right now Chase is back at it. McDowell does not take advantage of the opportunity. Starting to open up just a tad down low.
It's 5 cars now that have separated themselves from Chase Elliott. We're starting to line up on the lane about a car length that have separated the two.
Outside, it's going to be C. Bell. Really impressed right now with the one that Daniel Hemrick's gotten out 31 cars. They roll back to one.
Hemrick for Colleague Racing back in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2024. It's interesting to see what Chase Elliott's doing. Hanging back by a car length and a half, maybe 2. We'll see if he's doing some
The same thing is happening behind Chase with Brad Keselowski. Off of 2, there was about a car length and a half of open real estate between Bradley and Chase. That now will tighten up again with Bell again around in front of the lead.
We're back into turn number 3, the bottom lane circle again. Elliott made up some pretty significant ground. So Ryan second on the back stretch. He's coming right back in. It's not going to be the right side.
Cars have been on the pit lane. So no go fuel as of yet. They continue to run 2 by 2 in the lead draft.
They've been successful in backing up the pace just a little bit. Maybe 95% on the loud pedal instead of the full 100. End result, though, is still side by side.
And Ford, 1 and 2 up front. You got the Toyota of Christopher Bell. He leads the outside line, while the Ford of Ryan Blaney, your reigning Cup Series champion, he'll lead the lane down low and will draw even with Bell for the lead.
Behind them, it's still Hemrick and Joey Logano. Chase Elliott still a little tight with his car for lap time on the backstretch.
Let's give you a quick look. Doug Rice at the top 20. Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Daniel Hemrick, and Michael McDowell. That is your top 5. The rest of the top 10, Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Austin Cindric is 8.
Ross Chastain hangs off to 11th, and it's Alex Bowman. 13th to Eric Jones. Nice run today for Riley Herbst. He's 14th. Josh Berry in his first 500 is 15th. Then it's Chase Disco, Chris Buescher, Zane Smith. 19th goes to Daniel Suarez, and rounding out the top 20 overall, Justin.
Connected. There's about a quarter car length between every single row of cars in this 2x2 pack of racing we're calling, and it opens up even more as the front four now begin to pull away. It's about a car length between row 1 and row 2, and then probably 5 or 6 back to row number 3. That's been the racing.
Harrison Burton. Big moves. Alex Bowman, Josh Berry up 13, Ryan Blaney, Michael McDowell, they're up 12. Alex, obviously, that's a good thing. On the other side of the equation, those that are going backwards.
Yeah, if somebody's going up, somebody's got to go the other way. David Reagan has lost 23 spots since we've gone back on the green flag for the caution. That is John Hartman. He's lost 17 positions.
Starts a 3-wide line out of turn number 2. Michael McDowell sees it coming. He'll go up and throw it at block. While down low, you've got in that second pack, Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski.
Those 150s with 20 cars, and when you get out there and that's 40 cars, the cars handle different. So it's interesting to see if that's going on right now. If Hanley's starting to go away a little bit, we'll have to see.
That's what you've always said. So when we find out, we'll head downstairs to Steve Post. I would imagine since Blaney, Bell, Hemrick have yet to come to the road,
what they did during that side-by-side run is rode the pace way down. Now those drivers that pitted on that maybe they could make it to the end of the stage. The first 3 certainly have to pit. Just don't got Kyle Larson's radio. We just can't make it to the end of this stage, so we are likely going to have pit stops for everybody. The difference is
Looks like Austin Cindric may be starting up a line up top here. here. He's trying to pull a bunch of cars along with him. He's still about 5 cars off the point, which is Ryan Blaney, but
Indeed he is, Doug. He is the first car out of line on the outside, and that's the race from 6th on back. Now 5th on back. Cedric is up alongside Jason.
Ryan Blaney jumps up across the nose of Joey Logano. So the high lane is Blaney, Logano, and Cindric. 1, 2, 3. Christopher Bell leads the low line.
Total of 4 Fords lined up in a row. You got the Toyota of Christopher Bell. You got the Chevrolet of Daniel Hemrick. Along with the Chevy of Chase Elliott. On top, it's a Mustang
at the Daytona 500. Ryan Blaney continuing to lead over Joey Logano and Austin Cindric.
So with 28 laps to go in stage number 1, we have now seen a lot of the Ford drivers jump up to the outside lane and work together with each other to hold on to the top spot for now. The first car on the inside leading that lane is Cindric, 3 Team Penske teammates, 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack. Just mentioned a moment ago, most of these drivers, if not all of them, will have to make one more final stop before the end of stage number 1, which will happen in 27 laps. The question will be, when will they make that stop and how will they be coordinated? All those drivers on the outside lane at some point will have to get down to the bottom to make a green flag pit stop. We'll see how that works. It's the inside lane now making a charge. Billy goes down the block as they enter the corner. Lane for Logano, and Logano, after help from his teammate Austin Cindric, will go to the lead. Now Joey will try to block both lanes of traffic as they exit turn number 2 and into Daytona Superstretch.
Things changing quickly here. The determination of getting to the inside lane is important if indeed pit stop is in the near future. Outside line drivers will have to get position here. Stops at Daytona.
Right now, there's one of those 4 drivers that are just on the outside. Let's go to the Motor Racing Network for pit stops.
Back at the World Center of Racing, lap number 40 under green, pit stops, and it's the Ford contingent Steve Post.
2.5 seconds of fuel. The call for Joey Logano. There's 2.5. Joey is down on the line. Austin Cindric down on the line. Brad Keselowski and Ryan Blaney down on the line. Cars in front of you, Jason.
To fill that car full of fuel for Christopher Bell. So a little taken off guard on the 20 team.
And a great highlight for the Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of
the big pack in turn one, the lead pack, led by McDowell, on the inside with Denny Hamlin. In search of his fourth Daytona 500 victory in the last 9 years. He's on his rear bumper. Ford, Toyota lead the field down the backstretch.
2021 winner of the Daytona 500, Michael McDowell out front, not anymore. Chase Elliott goes rumbling around on the outside.
Takes it to the high country and storms past Michael McDowell. Elliott now goes to the lead. McDowell drops back.
They're now 3 wide behind them. They start to shake it up just a tad.
He'll tiptoe both high and low on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He'll try and find himself a place to tuck into the middle of that pack. Still hasn't quite done so, but he's not in harm's way.
Here's on the 2 on the right straightaway. Elliott leads the outside line. Down low, Josh Berry.
He's got work to do.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do, but he's managed to find himself a little space down low as they split him 3 wide a moment ago. Right now, the top side holding sway, being led by
Cars at the bottom. Look at Josh Berry, the velocity time.
Right now, there's nobody to draft with currently.
He's riding down the middle of the Daytona super stretch. There's a couple of more cars behind him, but albeit a half a straightaway back. And then that long lead draft led by Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch. And come to pit road. As we look at the leaderboard, it's Chase Elliott currently in lap 47 is the race leader. Kyle Busch is second. Bubba Wallace goes third. Mark Truex Jr. fourth. Noah Gragson is fifth. William Byron is sixth. Kyle Larson is seventh. Denny Hamlin eighth. Alex change as Anthony Alfredo is now back to 26th. 27th is Michael McDowell after the pit stop, still on the lead lap. 28th, Joey Logano. 29th, Austin Cindric. And 30th is Chris Buescher.
These Fords all pitted together, then
hiccups he's had so far. He was supposed to pin that Ford pack, but he got shuffled to the outside lane, couldn't come down with the Ford pack, so came down on his own, took 3 seconds of fuel. Now he's radiating to his team that something is wrong. The car feels very sluggish. He said he can't get into fifth gear. Travis Peterson and crew chief said just get into the end of the
Ryan Blaney pulled up behind and tried to draft with him, but it's done no good at all. Michael McDowell last time by, that car just did not sound right. It's not like it's running on 7 cylinders. No, it's speed.
Right now, McDowell and Blaney are both around the racetrack as the leaders come storming by to their right.
Gone to the inside line on Denny Hamlin. You're looking for a little bit of drafting help. It's not immediately there, although Alex Bowman is riding to the rescue down low.
Leaders out at 2, that outside line trying to kick in, but that was a strong no-go. That's where Elliott last time threw up to the outside. He's done
is a lap down. He was on pit road a moment ago. Jimmy Johnson involved in a crash on lap number 5. He's 2 down, but some will be thinking, okay, you guys were just talking about Bell and Blaney being at the front of the field, and now you're saying they're a lap down. Let's remind everybody.
Sure. There's some talking about stretching it to the end. It would be 50 laps. The fuel window we were told was 46 if you run back in the pack. But remember, when Bell and Blaney were leading, the pace slowed way down. I think there might be a few that stay Daytona 500 champion Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They appear to be headed down your way, Steve. So obviously fuel beginning to run dry. Yes, it is. Zane Smith brings his car in. Going to be just about 2.5, 3 seconds of fuel. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is looking pretty back on that. He probably might have everyone else with that crash on the first one.
see, but here comes some of the Toyotas, including Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin hits the mark. They're going to take a tear off the windshield. 1,000.
Right now are going to be able to make it to the end of the stage. That's really stretching
overtake them. Reagan and Priest still up top. That flashes by, and now Reagan and Priest fall in line behind them.
They were going so much slower. They're going to lose this one. 6 or 7 out of 7 or 8 cars. They just disposed of them.
Led by